The initial concept came from observing also the rapid changes and challenges in our industry, especially with the new technologies and the shifting of attendees' expectations. And we realized that a more interactive and collaborative format could better, let's say, equip professionals to navigate these changes.
This is the Convene podcast. My name is Maggie, Digital Media Editor. Welcome to Season 5 of the Convene podcast, brought to you by Madrid Convention Bureau. Today I'm joined by Lucio Vaquero, who serves as Regional Director LATAM at PCMA. Since joining PCMA in 2021, Lucio has significantly driven the growth, development, and strengthening of the organization in the region. Lucio, it's a great pleasure to have you on the podcast.
Thank you, Maggie. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, of course. And this time we're going to speak about the labs that you led in the region. So can you share with our listeners what is a lab and what's the concept behind this format?
Sure. The PCMA Labs are interactive workshops designed to create a unique environment where participants can think disruptively. They can foster their creativity and at the same time develop their skills. So they aim to inspire participants to seek alternative approaches for addressing challenges, opportunities within the business event industry. So in these spaces, attendees work together to identify, let's say, pain points, develop practical and innovative solutions, explore new perspectives, and improve both individual and collective skills that contribute to their professional and also, of course, personal growth. So to give you an example, we had a PCMA Lab in Cartagena. We have a couple really in Cartagena. It was last year and this year. And the last one, I remember the last one because it was, the setup was great. Thanks to our partner there, the Convention Center of Cartagena. But the topic there was event design. But from a different perspective, we cover elements such as learning styles, cultural characteristics of an audience, and how the formats can adapt to those characteristics. And the activity was very dynamic with groups moving through different stations and each focused on a specific topic within the event design. So this allowed participants to learn about different things and at the same time, exchange practical application ideas. And the feedback was super positive with participants appreciating this hands-on interactive approach. And I was telling you that I remember this lab because the setup was amazing and it was very nice. The feedback was great. So it was a great experience.
Yeah, I think for a topic as event design, you have to have an amazing setup there.
Yeah. Well, that was part of the strategy and to be at the same to walk the talk.
Yeah, exactly. But how did the idea of the labs come about?
Well, the idea of PCMA Labs was born out of a need to provide a more hands-on, engaging learning experience for professionals in our industry. So we wanted to move beyond traditional conference formats and create a space where participants could actively engage with the content, with the materials, and also with each other. So this approach allows for a deeper exploration of the topics and also foster a sense of community and collaboration. That is something that this is one of our objectives as PCMA, yes. So the initial concept came from observing also the rapid changes and challenges in our industry, especially with the new technologies and the shifting of attendees' expectations. And we realized that a more interactive and collaborative format could better, let's say, equip professional to navigate these changes. And I feel that we were right because of the feedback we are receiving. So we are glad of having the opportunity to activate these activities.
This comes as an add-on to having a regional event. So the labs would be smaller, practical, hands-on, and then you have the regional event, which would be more, let's say, traditional in format.
Yeah, well, it really depends. It depends on because sometimes there are cases where we partner with a company or a destination. So
Mm-hmm.
so the topic and the size depends on that. But mainly when we think about the size, it may be different depending on each case. But generally we invite participants, and it's a combination of invitations to PCMA members or or partnership with local organizations, with like CBBs, CMOs, or local event professional associations. The deal size depend on the topic and objectives.
Mm-hmm.
And we normally adapt to different situations. Typically, we have between 40 and 60, 70 participants. But we had, there were some instances with more than 100 participants, and it worked perfectly too. We normally adapt to that. Sometimes we have more diverse groups of attendees, and this diversity in perspectives and experiences enriches the discussion and may help to generate more innovative solutions. But also when the audience is more, let's say, homogeneous, we focus on the specific needs of that segment and we go deeper into those particular areas. So it depends, but yes, mainly it focuses on a market and a country. Yes, because I don't know, perhaps we can have a lab in Bogota, to say an example, and probably there will be some participants from other cities in Colombia. But we can say that it focuses on the country. But again, it depends on if we have a partner that may be a company or the destination or a DMO at the national level. So it may vary.
Yeah. And how do you select these topics when you are in such collaboration with your partners?
Yeah, we select topics based on current trends and the specific needs of the industry at that time. And we also take into consideration feedback from previous labs and suggestions from our community. So far, we've covered a range of topics such as neurosales, neuromanagement, experience, architecture, event design, as I told you, customer experience. But we've also had some where we talk about business models, new technologies, organizational structures. And as I told you, it also depends on the composition of the audience and sometimes the goals of the partners when we have one. So often we partner with a destination or company that has particular interest in strengthening certain aspects, and we work together to develop the topics. For example, in one instance, a destination wanted to boost their sales performance. So we develop a neurosales lab, and participants in this lab learn how to apply principles of neuroscience to improve their sales techniques. So this include understanding, I don't know, how the brain makes purchasing decisions and using this knowledge to better connect with potential clients. And we also used to evaluate practical cases so that participants could have concrete examples of how to apply what they've learned. Yeah, so this is normally the way we build the agenda of a lab.
In this instance, for example, with the sales neuroscience, sorry, topic, but it was focused on sales. How did that help the partner? I mean, what do they gain
Yeah.
Are there outcomes from the program that the partner also gains for themselves, or are they having different objectives?
Well, again, it depends. But in that particular case, they the objective was that it was in partnership with the destination, yes, with the CVB.
Hmm.
So in that particular case, that destination wants to improve sales at a destination level. So they thought that it would be useful for them to give practical tools on how to communicate. And it was for the whole value chain, because you know that when a destination is trying to get an event, an international event, many times there are many participants, different participants in that journey. So it was mainly for agency, but also we have participation from hotels and other members of the value chain. So they can be better prepared to connect with potential or international clients and be more effective in that connection. So the benefit for the destination is that they normally receive a certain number of leads, prospects.
Yeah.
So being more effective is good for the destination because it improves the return, yes, or the conversion rate, let's say, of those meetings or those leads. So that was the objective in that particular case.
Yeah, that's a very smart move, I have to
Yeah,
say.
yeah,
Also, it's
absolutely, absolutely. And now I think it's one of the most important, one of the topics that is not totally explored. Yes, when we talk about neuro whatever. Yes,
yeah.
marketing, sales, connections, management. There are many things there where we can learn. Yes, and for this one in particular, we have a facilitator that is doctor, is a medical doctor
Nice.
with expertise in marketing. He worked for pharmaceutical companies, so well, his experience is fantastic for our audience.
Oh, that's great. And can you maybe lift the veil for the future and share some future topics that you're thinking about?
Yes, well, when we think about the topics, perhaps it may be the reality is that every lab provides learning opportunities for us. So if when I think about what we can incorporate, I am thinking about perhaps more diverse formats, especially including technologies to enhance the learning experience. For example, I would like to incorporate virtual reality or augmented reality that could add a new dimension, yes, for the activities.
Hmm.
And we are also
Nice.
exploring the possibilities of hybrid labs. Maybe it's something disruptive. It perhaps will change the 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 current format, but it may help also. That would combine in-person virtual elements and it would allow us to reach a wider audience and provide more flexible learning options for our participants. Of course, that would mean adding some additional complexities and the need for additional resources and more time to prepare, but that would be great. And given that technology, especially advancements in AI, is transforming the way we work and live, we are likely to incorporate some of these technological components and topics, yes, into the future, where well we as PCMA are really very active with AI and also all the workshops we are developing on Spark. So I think that AI is the topic, is the topic of the future, the near future. But AI is getting more and more diverse and complex and have many applications. So I think that for sure it will be one of the main topics of the present and near future.
That sounds very interesting. I want to be there for the first hybrid labs for sure.
Yeah, you're invited for sure.
Thank you. A word from our sponsor.
Voted the world's best meeting destination for 5 consecutive years, Madrid offers an exceptional transport network, breathtaking spaces, world-class dining and accommodations, and a vibrant lifestyle that seamlessly blends business with leisure. Make your next meeting Madrileño. Discover more with the Madrid Convention Bureau.
Now back to the program. And how do you make it a safe space for participants to open up and really share and, not be boxed in their heads, but collaborate?
Yeah, that's important. That creating a safe space starts by setting the right tone from the beginning. So we emphasize the importance of sometimes confidentiality and mutual respect. And we also use various facilitation techniques to encourage open dialogue and ensure everyone feels welcome and valued. Additionally, the interactive and collaborative nature of the labs helps also to build the trust among participants. We put special attention to create a friendly and trusting atmosphere in every lab, where they can feel relaxed and welcome enough to share their ideas, concerns, opinions, because the objective is to encourage to have real, honest, and productive conversations. And so far, we have successfully achieved this in every city we have conducted in a lab. Of course, a crucial part of this success is the role of our facilitators that are really carefully selected, not only from their expertise, but also from their ability to connect with the audience. Their role is really essential to create that open atmosphere we aim for.
And do you have to consider the different, I don't know if there can be called cultural differences, but you operate in a very big region. So do you have to consider what's common in that location?
Yes, we have those considerations, and not only from a cultural perspective, but also from the segment we are attending, because it's not the same when we conduct a lab for association executives or leaders to corporate ones. The way they talk to each other and the way they connect, the experiences they have are really different. So culture is one thing and it's very important, and also the expertise and the segment characteristic is also something that we consider when we select the facilitators and when we select the topics. So this is very, very, very important, the cultural part. We try to have and to invite facilitators that have that international experience, yes, that we understand that can fit, yes, with that market. We have sometimes, for example, we have two main languages in Latin America. It's Portuguese and Spanish. So sometimes that also means that can be a slightly different or a greater difference, yes, when we select. But there is also something interesting that, and it happens many times in every aspect, I think, that when you bring someone from outside the market or the region or the country, it is taken more seriously. I think that's something, a human characteristic. But yes, we consider all those components when we develop one lab. Yeah, for sure.
But you make them in English, right? You're not selecting the local language.
No, we normally conduct them in local languages, and why? That's because of this interactive characteristic. So what we don't want is to limit the participation because of the language. So when we try, when we can, we try to have them in local language. And I think, I don't remember, perhaps there was one that was in English, but they are mainly or in Spanish or in Portuguese in the case of Brazil.
So you have extra planning for those
Yeah, well,
labs.
yeah. It's another challenge because you need to have facilitators that can speak in that language and are fluent in the language and that can connect. But also when you think about connection, I think that it's important to talk the same language because of the characteristics and what we are trying to achieve in each of these labs. I think that talking the same language is one important part to not to feel limited when you're trying to express yourself. So always that we can, we try to have those labs in local languages. Yes.
Yeah, and also we have different terminology sometimes.
Sometimes yes, sometimes that's true. It's not the same. You have some, I don't know, slang, yes, for
Yeah, exactly.
that can be as different the meaning of a word in Mexico that in Colombia or in Argentina or so. Yes, that may happen. We try to avoid those type of words, but sometimes it's funny also to learn some concepts or the meaning of those concepts in other countries. But that can happen also, yes, for sure.
And having in mind all the labs that you've led so far, if you had a chance, what would you do differently?
Well, I told you something about the that incorporation of technological elements. I think that there are many innovations now that are happens like every moment at a super fast speed. And I think that I would like to have more of those opportunities to experience with the labs. As I told you, the advancements in AI are transforming the way we work and the way we do everything. So I would like to incorporate more of that in the future labs. I think that we have a great opportunity, and everyone is fascinated around that. I think that especially our industry needs to incorporate more of the technological advancements that we are having. Sometimes we take a little more time than recommended to incorporate some of these improvements. So I think that we need to move quickly now. There is a great opportunity for us ahead. So we will push this to incorporate this kind of things into the next labs that we are planning for sure.
Can you give me a for instance on how you're planning to incorporate AI in the future?
Yes, well, there are many collaborators that are involved in AI and local from Argentina, for example. I don't know if you remember, we had a couple of years ago in our Convening leaders event, Mateo Salvato. Mateo Salvato is a super young entrepreneur from Argentina that developed an application for deaf people. But he's really involved in groups of, I don't know, entrepreneurs technological entrepreneurs. So I remember that he was the one that from where I've heard about ChatGPT. And it was, yeah, I don't know, a year and a half, more or less. So he and many others are helping us to develop some elements to incorporate in our sessions. Yes. And even we are using and we are having some workshops on AI, not labs, but sessions inviting experts. So I think that we need to do more activities around that. I don't know, to understand more of the needs of our audience, how they behave, where are their interests, to have additional tools for their day-to-day. Spark is a good example of this, but there are many developments outside. So I would like to have more practical workshop where they can learn more about the application of this in our industry. So yes, we are working on that.
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
And I have saved the best for last. So, what events can our listeners expect from the team in Latin America in the near future? And especially, we have to highlight the 2025 event coming up. So, share a bit
for
more.
sure. Well, so we have several initiatives, yes, including more PCMA labs across various cities in Latin America. You know that one our industry is currently facing a talent crisis, not only in Latam but everywhere, and there is a need to attract and engage young professionals. So to address this, we have many initiatives in the region aimed at engaging the next generations of industry professionals. So, such as one of the most successful programs that we've launched is a mentoring program with regional experts, and these programs provide guidance and support to young professionals, helping them navigate their careers and develop their skills that are necessary to succeed in independent industry. But it's great because it's not only beneficial for the young professionals, but also for the mentors and these experienced professionals that wants to contribute to the industry. So it's amazing the feedback that we are receiving and the level of engagement that we have in that particular program. But something also another kind of activities that we are developing are the what we call the customer advisory summits in some destinations. The customer advisory summits are a collaboration platform where international advisors, business leaders, and members in general of the events industry gather to discuss critical topics specific to a destination. This these summits include different types of activities, and they normally last between 2 to 3 days. And they are designed to foster the dialogue and maximize the exchange of ideas. For example, the topics addressed at these summits might include the destination perception, the enhancing the infrastructure for events, how to improve attendee experiences, strategies for attracting international events. And at each of these customer advisor summits, PCMA provides a detailed report analyzing insights, improvement areas, and opportunities for the destination, helping them to guide future actions. And this is another example. And yes, finally, what you just mentioned, the very important super highlights is our anticipated first regional event for PCMA in Latin America, Convening LATAM, that will take place in Bogota, Colombia, in May 2025, next year. Everybody's super excited about that. We as a team and all the members from our region, and Convene LATAM will be a mix of PCMA, say, global view and expertise with the characteristics and creativity and passion of Latin America. So the objective is to create a unique and inspiring environment with real high-level content, top-class speakers in a very dynamic atmosphere. So we want to drive transformation and growth in Latin America. So participants will have the chance to connect with people from both established sectors and new sectors also. That's one of our objectives. There are many professionals, not only in Latin America, but everywhere, many event professionals, many of the corporate side that do not know that they belong, that there is an industry, that there is a space for them. So this is one of the objectives, is to expand the network across different fields. So for sure, it will be an opportunity to go beyond traditional connections and explore a wide range of business relationships. So we are really, really excited about this upcoming event.
And you're already doing so much for the region, really. And I really want to just comment on the mentoring initiative that you have. I think it's super important, really. And we're in a
It's
big
very, very
crisis with
important.
talent.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. We need to attract young professionals. It's a must for us. It's a need. It's a real need of our industry. Yeah.
yeah. Like I said, really with all the initiatives, the labs, the mentoring initiative, the customer advisory summits, and Convening LATAM, I think you're just closing the circle of touching on
Yeah.
everything that our industry currently needs. And just kudos to you and the team for that.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, the team is doing a great job, and we are seeing the results also. We are excited about the growth we are experiencing in Latin America, and it's crucial for the development of the region that professionals engage and participate. So the more we come together and collaborate, the better it will be for everyone. So we are building, I feel, a strong, supportive community that is driving the innovation in our industry across Latin America. So yes, we are really excited about that.
Very well. And was there anything we didn't address and should mention before we finish?
Well, I think that we covered the essentials. I could just add that again, PCMA Labs are an incredible opportunity for the personal and professional growth, and I encourage everyone in our space, in our business event industry, to participate and experience the benefits attending. If you have a chance, of course, you need to have one in your city or nearby. But again, it's not only a PCMA lab, it's any initiative. It's important to be part and to get involved. I think it's something that we need as professionals to develop at a personal, professional, and community level. And of course, we are always open to feedback, suggestions. So for everyone that is hearing, feel free to reach out to us with new ideas, suggestions that we can incorporate. We are really open to that kind of connection and conversations. So this is something very important for us, our members and our community.
Yeah, well, I'll leave your details in the show notes for everyone that wants to reach out. And I just want to thank you very much for your time and everything you shared.
No, thank you, Maggie, for having me. It was great to share with you about the labs and our initiatives in Latin America. Thank you very much for the invitation.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Remember to subscribe to the Convene podcast on your favorite listening platform to stay updated with our latest episodes. We want to thank our sponsor, Madrid Convention Bureau. Learn more about how to make your next meeting madrileño at esmadrid.com/MCB. That is esmadrid.com/MCB. For further industry insights from the Convene team, head over to pcma.org/convene. Stay inspired, keep inspiring, and until next time.